Vocal tuning gets a lot of hate today, and probably rightfully so, because it's often abused or used as a crutch, and perhaps even used that way by yours truly, because I am not a great singer. But the reality is, vocal tuning is an incredible tool that you have right in your arsenal, built right into most DAWs, that can allow you to create awesome, well-tuned, naturally sounding vocals, even if you're not the best singer or you're working with someone who's not the best singer. So that is really great, and to me it's very encouraging because it opens up, allows you to be able to sing and put vocals on your tracks even if you're not a great singer like myself. Now, that said, it's always best if you can record your vocals the best possible way, even if it's not exactly where it's supposed to be. But I've actually found vocal tuning helped me become a better singer, because I would try and sing something, I'd be way off, really pitchy, then I'd go in and exactly pitch everything to where it's supposed to be, so where it sounded really robotic, and then I would go and I would sing it again, and I'd be closer and closer and get more exact to where I want to be. So actually using pitch correction tools can actually help you make you a better singer. So I think they receive a little bit too much hate, and the reality is, this is what is done. This is what professionals do. When I apprenticed at a pro commercial recording studio where dozens of artists were being recorded every month, we would always tune the vocals of everyone, even no matter how good of a singer they were. There's always going to be some little errors that you want to correct, but this can be abused, and if done the wrong way, it's going to sound artificial. But in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to tune your vocals in a way that sounds natural. By the way, if you want a vocal mixing cheat sheet, be sure to grab that in the description below, or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/mixing checklist. This will walk you through how to go about EQing, compressing, and mixing your vocals. So here we are in Logic. So first thing we want to do is we can just double click on the vocal here. Now there's a lot of different tools out there. Like Logic has one built in. I know Cubase has one built in. I know a lot of the other DAWs have their tools built in. You also have things like Waves, Tune, or Melodyne is one of the more famous ones out there, but they all kind of do the same thing. And Waves Flex Pitch probably isn't the best one out there because it can introduce some artifacts. You just gotta look out for that and listen carefully, but it's free because it's built into Logic, and so it's what I have access to and what I use. So here's how you use it. So you want to go to this little Flex helix icon here, I guess, and you're going to choose Flex Pitch, and then it is going to show you the little boxes with squiggly lines like this, and this can be a little overwhelming, but I'll show you what to do and how to go about correcting the pitches here. First off, what are we looking at here? So these boxes are basically approximations or averages. It's guessing what note you are trying to sing, and then the line here is what you're actually singing, right? So you can see you got lots of crazy vibrato going on here, and it's guessing that we're trying to sing, the singer here is trying to sing an A. And so we want to make sure we are more or less correct and in the key of what we're doing here, but we don't want to exactly align everything so it's exactly perfect, because that's where it's going to sound more artificial. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that each of these boxes represents an individual note. So you might see some big drops where it doesn't properly cut when it should cut. I don't really see anything here, so I think we don't have to do any cuts there, but you might want to see, right, if something is supposed to be two notes but it's contained in just one box, you might want to put a cut and then move them so there's two separate notes. So another thing I like to do is I'll just pull up this pitch corrector tool, but I'll turn it off just because I don't have all the notes in every scale memorized. So I know, okay, this is a major scale, and I can see, okay, these are the notes that we're working with here. So anything that's not one of these notes, we know it's a little bit pitchy. So I like to do smaller segments at a time. So we'll start with this 4-bar range here and just hear what this is doing. This feeling. It's also a good idea to have the track on in the background, maybe turn the volume down on the tracks, because you want to make sure you're not clashing with the actual track and it's actually close to what you want it to be. This feeling was born in cyberspace. So you can see this note is a little bit pitchy. You can see it's going a little bit above where it's supposed to be, which is like a C sharp. So what we're gonna do is go over here to pitch correction, and we're just gonna slide this over slightly, and it's gonna move it more, nudge it more to where it's supposed to be. And so kind of a shortcut you can do, which can cause some problems, but you can kind of just highlight everything and maybe just go ahead and just pitch correct everything by about 50 or so. That's going to nudge everything to where it's kind of supposed to be. It's not the most accurate, most strategic way of doing things, but it can speed up your workflow. And so we can kind of hear how this sounds now. This feeling. And right, we got this note here, which is technically off. It's not in the scale, but it's such a small note, and we're using our ears. It's not really sounding off. So to move it could make it sound a little bit more artificial, but we can try it. This feeling. It's not too bad. And then we got some vibrato here. This is a little bit extreme because you can see it's going way down here, but that's technically still in the scale, so we might be okay. But we could grab the vibrato here and just pull it down just a tad if we thought that was too extreme. This feeling was born. I kind of like the vibrato. This feeling was born in cyber. And we got this note here. It's a little sharp. Pull it down a tad. This feeling was born in cyberspace. A digital. So as you can see, as we're going through here, we're sounding pretty good. Maybe we'll reduce the vibrato there. Everything's pretty much on. A digital. So this is definitely flat. So it's probably supposed to be a C sharp. We'll hear that. A digital. A digital. It's almost not even a word. A digital. Doesn't make a huge difference. A digital romance. Not. Again, we're getting some extreme vibrato there, so I'm just pull that down a tad. Romance, not to embrace. Met once in person. This might be a little flat. Met once in person. Beloved. Now, this is, this whole thing's a little, I'll pull it down just a tad. Person. But love was forbidden. All right, so we're a little quite flat here. So was this supposed to be a B, maybe? But love was forbidden. Nope. C sharp. But love was forbidden. I might pull that down a bit. This is pretty extreme. You can see one's really high, one's really low. The white line here, so we might want to cut that and just pull this part down. And that could make it sound a little bit more artificial though. But love was forbidden. It's a little high. But love was forbidden. It's a little flat. I mean, it's kind of dropping down, so we'll see. But love was forbidden. And there you go. So it sounds pretty natural. So basically you're just gonna go through here, move things around, pay more attention to the white lines here than the boxes, because that's what's actually being sung. And you want that to be more or less within the range of the note you want it to be. And so you can see this gets a little flat here. So we might want to like grab this, and then can we nudge this up? By the way, if you want a vocal mixing cheat sheet, be sure to grab that in the description below or go to orpheausaudioacademy.com/mixing checklist. This will walk you through how to go about EQing, compressing, and mixing your vocals. Now you can see this can be a rather time-consuming process going through and manually tuning your vocals. So there can be something said for using a mix of manual tuning and auto-tune. Maybe you want to manual tune your lead vocal and then you auto-tune maybe the rest of your vocals. So if you want to see a tutorial on how to go about auto-tuning your vocals in a way that sounds natural, then check out my video on the screen right now. With that, have an awesome day, keep creating, and I'll see you in a future video.